Yikes, you be like, hey yo, what's the price? Yikes, when it come to me, I do nothing twice. Yikes, 223, got you taking.
Police in Spalding County investigating after a deadly shooting.
A woman who was killed outside the Spalding County courthouse had asked for a police escort.
Had they had someone walked out with her, like, her friend asked, she would still be here.
Police say both people knew each other, but they are still investigating to find out what led to the shooting.
Friday, September 13th, 2024. Police were called to the area of South 6th Street regarding a shooting outside of the Spalding County Courthouse in Griffin, Georgia.
In the courthouse.
Yeah, we just saw like 6 cop cars like zoom right past us.
Upon arrival, police found a woman suffering from gunshot wounds. She was pronounced deceased at the scene. The Spalding County Medical Examiner identified the victim as 44-year-old Krystal Evans. Griffin police identified Tom Mallory, her ex-husband, as the suspect responsible for the shooting.
Family of a woman shot and killed outside of the Spalding County Courthouse.
In the popular downtown area, both Griffin police and Spalding County deputies were called out to the scene earlier today. We know one person was killed and another is at the hospital. Police say both people knew each other, but they are still investigating to find out what led to the shooting.
Krystal Evans and her ex-husband Tom Mallory were at the courthouse Friday afternoon for a hearing when Mallory allegedly shot Evans multiple times, killing her.
Mallory did not stop for police and eventually shot himself. He's alive, but Evans is not.
Authorities have identified the suspect as Mr. Tom Mallory.
Flowers now mark the area where Friday took place. The sheriff reporting that Mrs. Mallory was shot and killed shortly after their court hearing when Mr. Mallory shot several rounds into her parked vehicle near the courthouse. Nearby deputies went after him before he shot and injured himself.
Krystal met Tom as a teenager, and the two had been married for over 20 years, but recently divorced just 2 days before the shooting. Krystal was also granted a permanent restraining order against Tom, which he violated. The two would appear in court on Friday on forgery charges, in which Tom was accused of forging financial documents. He was to turn himself in. However, instead of the judge taking him into custody, the judge told him that he can turn himself in on that Monday. After the court appearance, Krystal left the courthouse and headed to her car. Moments later, Tom pulled up beside her, firing several shots into her car while she sat parked, striking her several times. Tom then fled the scene and was chased by police before reportedly shooting himself.
The daughter of Krystal Evans says her mother did not have to die because she believes law enforcement actually dropped the ball because of a history of violence between her mother and the suspect.
Krystal's daughter, who says she had a restraining order against her father, Griffin police confirms the couple had a history of violence.
My mom literally called the sheriff department the day before because he was stalking her. She even showed them that the PTO that she was granted for life Wednesday from the divorce, and they did nothing.
Adding to her pain, Precious Evans tells me Mallory is her biological father.
Precious Evans says she lost both of her parents at the same time.
I don't have anybody to lean on.
She says she watched her comforter, her mother, Krystal Evans, go through an ugly divorce with her father for a year.
She was so happy after her divorce. She felt free. We were even talking about doing a party.
However, throughout that year, she also says she witnessed disturbing behavior.
Even after the divorce, this man literally texted her, not happening.
Precious says her mother was at the Spalding County Courthouse for a hearing connected to their separation Friday afternoon.
The judge did issue a warrant. Instead of the judge taking him in right then and there, the judge said that he could turn himself in Monday night. Had they had someone walked out with her, like, you know, her friend asked, she would still be here.
Since she can't get her mom back, Precious will honor her life by fighting for justice with no sympathy for her father.
It's reported that his injuries are non-life threatening, and he's expected to survive. Warrants have been issued for Tom for felony as well as other charges. It's alleged that Tom had been cheating on Krystal with men.
What more can you say about it? What more can you say about it?
You fuck niggas, you fuck boy. I can say that. I can keep saying that. They ain't got out of fucking pound. Nigga, you ain't putting no insurance on it. You put insurance on it, the car still be on the road. Dumbass nigga, you so
damn sad.
You so
fucking
stupid.
Nigga, you tell me, can you do that? No, you can't do that. Because you know why? Because you're a bottom.
You so stupid.
That's why you can't goddamn do it. You're a bottom.
Cool when I get out there, just have that energy.
And when she decided to leave, he started to stalk her and her family. Krystal had made several social media posts warning that Tom had threatened her life numerous times, and it was for this reason that a family friend asked the court to escort Krystal from the courthouse, but that request was allegedly ignored. However, the Spalding County Sheriff, Daryl Dix, denies this claim in a Facebook post, stating that surveillance from that day shows Krystal never asked for an escort.
Social media chatter that a woman who was killed outside the Spalding County Courthouse had asked for a police escort has the sheriff taking to Facebook to respond.
Yeah, Karen, there are two very different yet strong opinions about the sheriff taking to social media following the shooting that happened just steps from this courthouse. County Sheriff Daryl Dix taking to Facebook to correct a rumor and to add additional clarity about a fatal shooting he says was also an attempted by the alleged.
Griffin police deny Evans asked for an escort. Griffin police confirms the couple had a history of violence.
Says Mrs. Mallory did not ask for an escort while in court Friday and that she and Mr. Mallory were there for a hearing. He also posted about answering calls of violence at the couple's home. Quote, in the past, we have received multiple calls to the Mallory's residence. Both would claim the others started the fights. Those reading and commenting either take issue with the sheriff sharing too much on a domestic matter, while others thank him for adding some clarity.
In a lengthy Facebook post, Sheriff Daryl Dix says Krystal walked out of the courthouse to her car where Mallory met her, shooting her multiple times from the window. Surveillance video shows Krystal never asked for an escort. His office also confirms there have been several violence calls to the Mallory household. Dix says sometimes the violence was mutual and there were no witnesses to identify the aggressor.
Not once did you offer your condolences, sympathy, or anything for my mom. That post was to clean his face, to clear his name.
This is really sad, and I first off want to send my condolences to the Evans family. You know, this one really hits home because I believe that we all either know or we're related to somebody who is a survivor. And I also believe that DV needs to be taken more seriously on both ends. You know, the court systems, as well as the individuals involved. Because I mean, at the end of the day, in a lot of situations, you find that people go back. I've been in situations where I've been there to defend my cousin or my sister. And what happens? They go back. Once you get out of that situation or you've come up with an exit plan, stick to it. Don't go back. You can't continue to sleep with that person. You can't give that person any more chances. Leave and stay gone. But I don't know, man. I could be wrong about the whole thing. Y'all let me know your thoughts on this one down below. And if you haven't already and you feeling the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I got more videos coming. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.
So God says to men, he says, I will bless you. Check this out, brothers. This is big. This is big. He says, I will bless you according to how you treat your woman. He says, I will answer your prayers according to how you treat your wife. Because the real test is how you handle power.
Yikes, you be like, hey yo, what's the price? Yikes, when it come to me, I do nothing twice. Yikes, 223, got you taking.